war between dummies begin. The puppet slaps back after the hit success of the first Living Dummy episode, ironically adapted from the second book. Goosebumps revived this toy to play with children's nightmares once more. A rating smash for a grand horror show. A creepy tale of suspense, fun for all ages. And an iconic horror ghoul makes a bigger stab on pop culture than Chucky, proving to be such a massive fan favorite that they never bothered adapting the first book. Stine and the studio foresaw the cash grab and instantly devised a sequel continuing on the monster's legacy. But this time, the killer doll faces new foes. A tween Anakin Skywalker and obnoxious fanboy Catastrophe now block Slappy's path. Can this unlikely pair truly best the puppet menace? Man, these recaps are lazy and melodramatic. Shut up, House. Howdy, Wolfpack. We finally trek into the big two-parter you've all been waiting for. Night of the Living Dummy 3.
Well, let me show you how the pros do it.
Oh yeah, this is another huge fave, as not only is this another Slappy mishap, but it features the beloved horror mascot fully under the spotlight. Has some of the most charming human characters, eerie suspense, gnarly scares, some surprisingly touching heart, and elevates the book to a higher standard of gold. In our last Living Dummy romp, Slappy died! So of course, that meant he's getting a sequel, because as all horror fans know, the spooky villains never stay dead when there's cash on the line. Living Dummy Saga would have the murderous Muppet basically move into new homes to target new victims, go into hiding amongst our world, and naturally pick up his bad habits all over again. Amy, Sarah, Dennis, and the past cast aren't involved in this anymore, as RL Stine would approach Slappy akin to a slasher villain, with the baddie gaining a whole new roster of enemies to terrorize in each of his adventures, trying fresh concepts and making it easier for newbies to hop into Goosebumps at any time. While Living Dummy 2 was indeed a good fright, fans would hotly debate that the third arc's truly the greatest of all the Living Dummy episodes, if not one of the greatest tales ever adapted by the TV show, as this one featured way more screen time granted to the puppet and has some memorable scenes for Goosebumps. However, it's not quite one of my faves. This special didn't earn a spot on my top best episodes list, but I don't think it's actually bad at all, just a tad more flawed than most remember. And I do believe Bride of the Living Dummy's way scarier.
Don't fuck with the Chuck!
If Living Dummy 2's a dynamic intro, then Living Dummy 3 is a dumb fun sequel, which simply sought to play with all the crazy puppet antics far more. I can concede that this is a better budgeted tale from Goosebumps. The villain's very well utilized on here than his last chapter, the kids are far more likable, and they actually improve upon the book, since believe it or not, the third Dummy book was not as popular as the show's take. For any wandering book fans, yes, the episode changes a lot. Some minor plot points are entirely re-altered in significant ways. Slappy and Zayn get much more focus. Some elements of the novel are deleted completely, and even the second half of the tale is nothing like the book's climax. So it's another title where book fans don't get their loyal take.
You were the chosen one!
However, the fans who enjoy this special actually love it more for what it evolved into, many unanimously agreeing that it's better than the source material.
Oh yeah? Who's working your head?
We'll see how good or bad this one falls soon enough. On a tragic note, this event's also the final Goosebumps special, where RL Stine did the narration. Good ol' RL initially started the series as our Rod Serling / Crypt Keeper-esque host, doing his silly stand-up while teasing the viewer with hype for his showcases. This one's easily the most enjoyable, since Stine has a mini-me Muppet who lampoons his goofy antics.
You look almost lifelike. Thanks for the compliment. But I'm the real RL Stine.
Dreams are the things humans wish for and believe in. They are the goals each of us hope to achieve.
The puppet Stine's so funny, and apparently even the real Stine loved it so much that he kept it for himself to this very day, as a gift after the show's end. Gotta respect a dude who can laugh at himself.
Is that okay? You were a little stiff.
As much as I dig RL's stand-up, it might have been for the best that his narrator wraparounds ended, since I don't think they would complement tales like Perfect School or The Ghost Next Door with zaniness.
It's true. I am a ghost. And I'm alone.
What a crazy idea.
But was this truly a worthy send-off for the author? Is Living Dummy 3 an absolute head spinner of a horror chiller? Or an overhyped disaster piece as cheap as Mary Ellen? You all waited this long, so let's find out. This is my wacky trip into the dumb side of the Force. Night of the Living Dummy 3.
Let's get silly!
Follow Slappy, every monster locked inside. Follow me, we'll terrorize. Follow Slappy, when I turn the key, you'll all wake up, you're gonna come alive. Follow Slappy, every...
So, our episode opens up in a creepy mansion
In the middle of nowhere!
where we meet our sleepy pro-tag, Trina Odell, who senses a disturbance in the farce. Somebody's lurking around in the dark, and like many kids, she's just so gosh darn curious to peep. Only for us to win a classic Stine fake-out. It's not a living dummy, it's just their family father, Ned Flanders.
Okey-dokey-do.
We're quickly introduced to the Odell family, an entire clan of tricksters and comedians who all love pranks, trolling one another, and are enthralled by puppets, with Dad naturally doing some late-night dummy purchasing and maintenance on his new toy, collecting Slappy.
Howdy, kids! It's me, Slappy!
Wait a tick, who the heck pawned Slappy? Who broke? It's pretty humorous how Amy and the Kramer family actually sold the corpse of a killer doll off to some sap. But who'd even buy and pocket a toy that's not only haunted, but was shattered to 1,000,000 pieces?
They call me Sato. No, mister. Accent on the dough.
So yeah, despite getting his head busted, Dad's on his way towards patching him up. Not only that, but Slappy's now 3 times his size. This is because in this installment, Slappy needed an actor to properly animate him. In the previous installment, he was simply a puppet with limited motion. So our maniacal Muppet's now both a larger ventriloquist dummy, played by a human dwarf actor to perform the stunt work in action, and his normal wooden Muppet form. For consistency, they made the puppet the same size as the actor. If you pay close attention, you'll be able to tell when Slappy is a dummy or an actor in a costume. The costume's face stretches like rubber when the mouth moves, and it can't move its eyes or eyebrows. The dummies also have human hands when the actor wears the costumes.
If you try to tell anyone, I'll turn both of you into dummies.
Not seamless, but pretty chilling. This now means Slappy's in for more action than before, a big reason why fans love this chapter. We learn it's summer break, where the parents reveal they're sneaking around and lying low due to preparing for a surprise visit from their cousin Zayn, their total scaredy cat cuz, who the bratty kids punk all the time. I don't blame you, Zayn. That cow helped Michael Myers escape. So the parents are forcing them kids to pull no funny biz while the wussy boy's here. Only for them to, of course, find and read Slappy's spell card out loud, bringing him to life.
Don't!
You'd think somebody would trash that card by now so idiots don't summon him. And that's coming from another wood bro. So it seems the big joke's gonna be on them as Slappy insta-heals. Which means it'll be a week before he actually does something.
Don't!
For at least half the special, the Odell family are the central stars. As we learn more about them, each relative gains time to shine, and we quickly get attached to our cast thanks to their cute dynamic and witty banter. The Odell family is very charming and humorous, having a lot more persona over the typical generic self-insert main characters. They're all super quirky, sassy jokesters who play off each other wonderfully. We have the doofy dad who loves his puppet pals, the snarky mom, our certified detective Trina, and the goofball Danny.
Daniel.
I'm kinda shocked that most of the actors involved didn't return on future Goosebumps fables, since they're all pretty good. The only heroic character fans may recognize is Dan, whose actor went on to play Cooper from The Barking Ghost. So glad he can at least brag that he starred on a good Goosebumps tale over that doggy do. All in all, the core cast are very entertaining and feel like a real family.
We thought you'd like some company at breakfast.
Isn't one dummy at the table enough? Do you want a crap face too?
But naturally, we finally meet our last kid protag, the wimpy windbag cousin Zayn, played by the Dark Lord of the Sith himself, Hayden Christensen.
Anakin Skywalker.
If you wanted to torture me, couldn't you just find something a bit more humane?
Hey!
I have nothing in common with these people.
They're your cousins,
That's
Zayn.
not my fault.
I hate them!
Yes, for reals, Anakin Skywalker's on Goosebumps, playing a character ironically nobody would associate him with. Zayn's a total dorkosaurus, who's super timid and wussy, to the point where even Carly Beth looks like Xena next to him. He's a lone nerd, scared of everything, and shares nothing in common with his trickster fam, leading to much awkward humor.
So, you don't have to worry about that old cow. Died. Oh, well, that's good.
And I slaughtered them like animals.
Honestly, for a very early role in his career, Hayden's not too bad, as he makes Zayn out as this socially awkward doormat, who'd one would never suspect of being cool or betraying younglings, adding some shock to a twisted payoff later. Oh, and yes, I shall be referring to him as Anakin all video, because I am so mature.
Liar!
Though, unlike Carly Beth, even his whiny fits can be grating at times. You get his frustration, but it's not hard to see why the cousins view him as an easy sucker.
I really shouldn't get scared so easily. My dad and I are trying to work on it.
The kids try playing nice with him, but shocker, he fears Slappy.
It's me again, Slappy!
Can you believe anyone would fear this guy? You almost feel sorry for Annie, but then you remember he's like the same age as Trina, and even brought a book on how to conquer your fears with him on summer vacation.
What a tree sap!
Won't lie, it takes a long while until Cal Dodd actually shows up to talk as Slappy, since the first half of this is entirely focused on the Odell clan, with the Puppet Master getting built up too. We get a ton of fake outs and misdirections where you think you're gonna finally see a slap attack, only to get nada. Our favorite foe just sits there in the background, reminding you he's here for 20 minutes.
Slappy I am!
The dad's such a good ventriloquist though, since I actually thought he was Cal Dodd himself, due to doing a pretty good Slappy impression.
What's his name?
His name is Zayn.
Well, I guess that's better than being in Zayn.
Alas, much like Attack of the Clones, you're sitting through a load of filler before the action. But finally, the killer strikes when Annie meets Jason?
Help me, please! Help me now! Quick, help me! Help!
Get the heck out of here, Jason. This is a Slappy pick, not a Voorhees pick. The siblings are unfairly punished and blamed for this crime they didn't commit thanks to their past history of trolling Anakin, leaving both of them confused over who really did this, where we naturally get a Slappy scary face.
It's me again, Slap!
And this is at least half the plot, and a major reason why it took me so long to review this. The first and second act is a long, slow burn story, where nothing really scary happens. Because Slappy's sidelined for so long, the kids are the central focus on stage. But it gets kind of repetitive with how things play out. We get tons of blatant fake outs and pranks where nothing creepy happens. We're duped into believing it's Slappy behind Skywalker's suffering, and he's framing the siblings as Anakin scared Shrekless. Trina and Dan are misblamed, scary face shots, rinse and repeat. The show's building up towards that spooky dread when the dummy kills, which is decent. However, it doesn't quite feel entertaining in my opinion, because Slappy's just a troll, and his antics aren't very effective. Annie gets jump scared by toys, has his hobby photobombed by toys, is kicked by Slappy, and they even ruin Thanksgiving.
At least we still have the roast.
Oh no! My roast! Dad, you were supposed to use a real turkey!
I honestly find this more funny than scary. It's a far cry from when Slappy nearly bashed Amy's parents to death with a guitar. While the dummy is menacing, pranks just plain aren't. I know this is all a part of the book, but Stine's fakeouts can admittedly get silly fast. This isn't helped by how Slappy pulls a hospital Laurie Strode by kicking back so he can heal from his injuries, barely doing anything at all, while the brats take the fall for 20 minutes straight. Made even worse when you know the twist.
You know very well that you put Rocky in Zayn's room.
I did not. They hate me.
No one hates you, Zayn.
I hate them.
It's mainly the siblings getting frequently punished, doing lame-o chores, and the parents getting so fed up that they're denied summer camp. Camp.
You can both forget about going to summer camp.
Dad!
Aw man, now they'll never enjoy that awesome vacay. The duo eventually feel enough is enough. They've had it with these motherfucking blocks on this motherfucking plane. So they try catching the true culprit in the act, where after some wacky hijinks, they discover it's Anakin. Skywalker has turned to the dark side.
And they thought I was afraid of you? Let's see, I think we'll put you in the shower, and, yeah. We'll hang you outside my bedroom window. After this trip, Trina and Daniel will never mess with me again.
I can't watch anymore.
Yep, it was their dorky cousin framing them all along, because Annie sought revenge! Meaning that Slappy has done even less in this story arc and has contributed nothing for half the plot. The sad part is, this is a nice tribute to the Living Dummy books and a big shocker, but it kinda cheapens Slappy since he's done no evil beyond kicking Darth Vader's shin. On the bright side, they totally bust the Sith head and score payback by snitching on him. But once they race off, halfway into this hour-long episode, Slappy at last reveals himself to You now spring his evil plan into action. Cal Dodd's back in the saddle, and much like his last appearance, truly brings his A-game as the killer doll. Despite the goofy switch-ups between the genuine dummy and the little person in a monster suit, Slappy's just as spooky as ever. The designs given to him make him stand out as an unsettling monster. His sick sense of humor is grim fun. His vile plans much more horrifying here than back on Amy's haunting, and Dodd's voice acting's top notch.
So, you want to be a prankster, do you, Zayn? Well, let me show you how the pros do it.
Hey, who am I talking to?
Also, I didn't bring this up on my last Living Dummy review, but yes, Slappy's voiced by frickin' Wolverine from X-Men the Animated Series. Slappy and Wolverine are the same guy, which shows you how wicked Dodd's acting chops truly are. I never brought it up because truthfully, I didn't even know it was him. That's how awesome Cal is.
From now on, this family belongs to me. You're mine, Amy. You're mine.
Tell Cyclops I made him a convertible.
And what's cooler than a living dummy? 2 living dummies, where Slappy summons Scarface to life, voiced by our old creepy crawly, Mr. Mortman.
Are you ready to have some real fun?
Sure. Whatever you say, boss.
It's great to hear Mr. Mortman in this as a puppet minion, as well as upgrading the doll Rocky's appearance from a Where's Waldo looking toy into Arnold Wesker's unhinged gangsta bro. Why was he changed? Well, because Batman the Animated Series was popular the same time Goosebumps was airing. That's my best guess. Rocky's a fun minion since fans finally get to see Slappy with a slave, though he doesn't get deep persona yet, as he's simply a mindless brute, which even Slappy mocks.
And if you make my new bodyguard, he's not too bright, but he'll do anything I say. Won't you, Rocky?
Sure, boss.
I will also warn you that this is where we stop following the book completely, as the second half of this is wildly different from Stine's novel. For starters, Rocky and Annie get expanded roles their literary counterparts lacked. In fact, Zayn wasn't even important at all to the main story, and never even learned Slappy was alive all along. He doesn't even partake in the adventures his cousins suffer. Here, both Rocky and Anakin are vital to the plot now, and gain improvements. Zayn actually suffers a comeuppance for pranking everyone so hard, as we see the next day he's doing all the lame-o chores now, instead of getting away with it. And quite randomly, the kids all like each other now, because they have mad respect for Anakin's prank master skills.
You have balls. I like balls.
Yep, it's a happy family now, because all you have to do is torment others worse than how they torment you. Realizing that the kid war's settled, the parents plan to go out bangin', yet the dummies have plans too. They're all home alone tonight, but not quite.
Howdy, kids! It's me, Slappy!
Finally stuck together, Slappy strikes back with pranks! Oh joy, more puppet pranks, because the last half hour wasn't enough. The kids then randomly turn on each other, questioning what's going on here.
I didn't do it, I swear.
Oh, come on, Zayn. You expect us to believe that?
Who else could have done it?
We loved you a few seconds ago, but now we hate you.
Yeah, how'd you do it, Daniel?
Get off it, we know.
Oh, yeah, how?
And I slaughtered them like animals.
And finally, Slappy enters with an ultra creepy entrance where things get spooky. I do love how Slappy screws with his targets prior to killing them, since it makes his actual attack all the more tense. The kids start believing that Slappy's indeed real, yet Annie's unconvinced, where we get a rad reveal when Skywalker tests that theory.
Kick me, come on. I dare ya. Well, how come he won't do anything now, huh?
You didn't say please.
Now that's a wicked ghoul. He's alive and gets hilarious revenge.
Abracadabra!
What the heck? Did Joel Schumacher direct this?
Abracadabra!
I don't think so.
This scene's almost scary, but quickly ruined when the kids beat him up.
Slappy sucks.
This is your favorite Goosebumps villain, folks? After all this buildup and grandiose, Slappy gets anticlimatically beat up by children. He's a wuss. Are you wondering why this tale was left off my top best episodes list?
You failed!
Yes, Slappy loses and gets sent down the river by kids.
Quiet.
But it's not over yet, as his plan's only just begun. This embarrassing defeat's only made funnier by how wacky the writing grows seconds later. The kids briefly question what the heck just happened, but then they just forget about it and go to bed.
So, I guess we should just go to bed, right?
Off we go then.
Yes, no Kitten, these brats just saw a killer doll come to life and barely wrestled him in a death battle, only to just brush it all off like nothing happened. Be impressed, damn it!
I hate them.
I do love how Trina's reading the same Conquer Your Fears book from earlier. Yay, character development! Though shocker, Slappy ain't dead.
Waiting up for me? Frog in my throat!
Huzzah, Cal Dodd saving this again. Trina gets help, but Slappy pulls a Batman on them before breaking into Anakin's room and breathing on him in his sleep.
I need an adult! I need an adult!
The kids break in, greeted by Slappy and his fam, recreating the book cover, including his rival Dennis.
It's good to be back in the family again.
Fun fact, only a small fraction of the puppets are actual dummies. Most of the family dummy collection are really dolls and toys, with some being past props like Dennis. It's here where Slappy monologues his evil plan. He desires a dummy family, starting with Skywalker.
Loosen up, Zayn. Don't look so wooden. Get it? Wooden! Young Skywalker is in pain. Terrible pain.
Yep, Slappy's back to his old habits, at last revealing his endgame. He wants the Odells to be his slaves, constructing a puppet army with him as the master, where they must obey him or else Vader dies.
So, Zayn, did you hear the one about the 3 kids that tried to outsmart the dummy?
No, Slappy, tell me all about it.
They couldn't do it.
This is legit a pretty scary scene, which made Slappy all the more diabolical, and shows you why he's a powerful monster. But unfortunately, it's diminished a tad when he lets them go. Seriously, the kids flee from him easily and even have a casual conversation just downstairs on what to do now while there's a monster invading above them.
We're smarter than him and we're not gonna end up like Zayn. We just gotta figure out a way to beat him. We just gotta find it, right?
Okay, I get that you're afraid and need a plan, but kids, get the hell out of the house! You're exchanging casual banter while there's a killer doll right upstairs torturing your cousin. Be impressed, damn it! The kids believe they can free themselves and slay Slappy by Uno reversing his spell card, but struggle to find it, until realizing the painfully obvious that Slappy has it.
Don't!
I'll confess, we do get a pretty wicked climax, as this is where the fun begins. There's a super suspenseful scene where they try robbing the puppet, but he's too smart for them.
Don't touch the merchandise.
Not so fast, little lady.
Tragically, he's still not physically imposing.
My groin!
They grab the card and chant the spell backwards, which slays those dum-dums. Or did it? Silly younglings, reading the spell backwards doesn't work until Slappy beware. So Slappy wins, the kids are cornered, but the comedian quickly turns into a bad dad, even mistreating Rocky, causing Rock to have a change of heart.
Rocky, listen to me. You were always Dad's favorite. Whenever he had a charity show to do, he'd always take you. He would never call you a slave.
It's honestly kinda rushed, but the family's favorite toy Rocky undergoes a heel face turn. Touched by Trina's kindness, he turns against the abusive doll to save the day. He's just good now.
What are you doing?
Never go against the family.
You always win when you are good.
Rocky helps by taking out the trash, where we get the coolest Goosebumps death ever.
Don't you get it? I'm invincible!
Fatality.
Holy Primus, that's epic. Slappy actually dies getting struck down by the Lord. Thanks, God.
Oakley dokley.
This death scene's a huge step up from how Slappy went out on the page. In the book, Slappy's death is very abrupt and out of nowhere. When he has the kids cornered at the end, all the dummies the family own come to life and save the kids by dragging Slappy into the shadows to beat him to death. We don't get to see it happen, the kids take no part in the action, and all the puppets who we barely knew are alive and go back to lifeless toys with zero explanation.
Oh, that was lame.
Safe to say that this Slappy demise is a huge upgrade, and clearly where all the money went. So, that's it. The dark magic's gone, Anakin's human, the doll armada's disbanded, the kids are all loving pals, and Rocky's a toy once more, gaining a worthy hero's death.
Thanks, Rocky.
Get to live the rest of my life like a schnook.
But just when everything's coming up Millhouse, we score our twist ending. Right when the kids bury the hatchet and end on good terms, we learn Anakin's not fully light side.
I'll be seeing you real soon, cousins.
Yep, even though they freed his soul, Zayn's not full human, but still half puppet, concluding on a vague twist that the puppet show ain't over yet. The end. I always knew his acting was wooden. Despite a bit goofy, this ending's slightly better than the darker book finale. At the end of the novel, Zayn never, and I mean never, learns that the puppets were alive or even who Slappy is. He basically gets away completely scot-free with being a brat, and frames his cousins, getting them grounded for life. But before he departs, the kids actually gift him the remains of Slappy as a souvenir, only for the dummy to wink at them, revealing he's still kicking. And he'll start a new killing spree with Zayn as his next victim. And that's it. Everyone's a prick and Slappy's alive.
Oh, that was lame.
This ending's a bit more sinister and vague, but barely an upgrade. Though the episode's saved since RL Stine suffers a better twist, as our host's not free either.
Have a good night, everyone. What?
Have a scary night.
Stine belongs to the Disney Corporation now! Ruin the franchise! Scarier than Seed of Chucky. And that's the end of the fan fave fable, Night of the Living Dummy 3. Far from flawless, but still a chip off the old block. Now I know I'm gonna piss off a ton of fans, but I don't view this as an all-time classic. This isn't one of my top picks for peak Goosebumps, as it's got some scratches which most ignore. However, I won't deny that it's still pretty twisted amusement. This isn't a bad episode whatsoever, not even close. I simply see some of the show's campiness holding it back. My negatives stem from how it's got a super slow pace beginning, goofy antics which suck out the horror, a severe lack of scares, especially compared to the other two Slap sagas, and seeing the living dummy get his butt whooped by children strangely doesn't impress me. However, I do acknowledge the solid positives. Cal Dodd's Slappy is still a fun antagonist. The Odell family are charming and endearing. You do actually care about what happens to the cast. There's sleek visuals here and there. The show builds up Slappy better than Stine's book did. It's never unwatchable, and the villain's death scene is bossa nova. This is simply a zany killer doll story held up by a great monster, and an enjoyable group of unknowing heroes, filled with that over-the-top Goosebumps galore, which made these tales fantastic. I fully understand why people enjoy this, because it succeeds at being a wicked killer doll mystery, which is all it really needed to be to win over Goose fans. Cal Dodd's as always the heart and soul of Slappy, and giving him more screen time helped him maintain the living dummy's liveliness greatly. Plus, it's hilarious to look back at how Anakin Skywalker was on Goosebumps. That's just pure gold. Hayden's a true Jedi, but all the cast fully held their own as delightful horror characters. I think what really makes fans love this one more than Living Dummy 2 is that it took all the strengths the original had and quadrupled them here, gifting us an unfiltered Slappy terror, which was plain kooky amusement. I guess you could say it's an episode very well constructed. So, I gift this puppet show a gold skull, a huge improvement over the first season Killer Doll Tale, but not in my perfect victors yet. I recommend this episode nonetheless, as merely a fun, extended version of Slappy's greatness already seen from his debut. While far from my favorite Slappy romp, Night of the Living Dummy 3's still a decent head-turner. I'm your host, Catastrophe, and I'm sure you're all looking forward to the next show. Hey, you dummy! You were supposed to call me number 1!
A scary clown, he's gonna